Hello, I'm doing a garden update and just to say hi to everybody. I lost a bunch of baby plants, so with the whole drama thing that happened with the neighbor. Um, so I might have to buy some, but I have some in the house. I have tons of herbs that I started in coffee filters because they're really hard to start. Um, I've got some tomatoes and I've got pineapple ground cherries that are huge. They actually started setting flowers. I had to pinch off. Um, I've got peas I direct sowed into pots. They're bush peas, so I'm gonna make little trellises. I have extra fencing, this black fencing. I have short pieces of it that'd be perfect for little baskets. These are raspberries. The raspberries are doing good. They're awaiting a home. Hopefully the raspberry beds will get done that are going to go next to that shed. But the shed needs the siding finished, the gutter done first, and then the raspberry beds. So I don't know when that's going to be. I put hoops up here so you can protect against frost or salt air or anything, bugs, deer, because the fence is not complete. It needs deer wire put up. We do have these cool motion sensing sprinklers. Sometimes this one's weird. that sense you in the yard and squirt you, and they squirt me all the time. See there, it clicked. They're clicking because they can sense me. So this got done. Here, let me put this out so I can. You can see better. The fence was in there, died. I didn't harden them off good enough. I was just trying to get up what baby plants I have out so that I can put more in. So we've got this all done. Fencing so that the driveways are closed. That way the dogs can hang out while we're doing stuff in the yard. I need to put a coat of polyurethane on my old kitchen table, and it's got 2 leaves. It's from IKEA. I'm gonna put a coat of polyurethane on that and then use that for a potting bench. We've got to plant these trees. The apple trees are going to go somewhere over here. Oh, I have a sun filter. Oh no, my sun filter thing fell over. Oh, I've got a sun calculator thing sitting here, so I know how much sun those apple trees will get. Yeah, so I actually really hate this Kellogg's organic potting soil raised bed mix. I have a bag of it. I wish I had bags thrown away so I could show you what it is. It's horrible. It's like it doesn't hold any water. It's like all bark. It just falls apart. It sucks. It totally sucks. So I made these hoop houses. I have not secured them yet. I did order little metal clasps to screw in. And then I can use those to tie trellis stuff on or throw insect netting over. This one's a 4x4 also. And then I've got fabric over these. These are potatoes growing. These are potatoes that were chitted from last year that I overwintered from the nursery. There's some onions. These are lilies, and guess what? This lily had a baby already, so I'm super stoked about that. Nice. I got lots of perennials. There's a blueberry. There's a blueberry out back. There's currants, a currant plant. I've got some bunching onions. Some parsley is coming up over there that dried out, and I didn't think it was gonna take, but apparently it did. apparently it took. Okay, so I'm going to, it is so nice out. It is ridiculously warm and nice. I'm gonna go for a walk out to the beach, I think. But I will show you my really messy seed starting room.
Quality extracts statistics
Mischief.
on that. Maybe that's that dashboard, but we don't have to show that tomorrow. And then the next thing they would do after they look at that checklist, they would then wanna ideally from a digital version of that checklist be able to click on it and actually open the document with that flag. And then be able to look at that document and then be able to
Nice. Okay, so I've got pink lights in here. These are pineapple ground cherries. There's a little weird discoloration on the leaf. Pineapple ground cherries. Super stoked. I think I ordered them on Etsy. And then this is Thai basil. I've got lettuce leaf basil. This one is hard to get to. Let's see. I don't know if I can. There's this purple basil that's gorgeous. This one's, oh yeah, purple ruffle. Oh, we do have extra potato chips in here. Oh yeah, we bought some. I made, I've been making hummus. So, I have chips. I got sumac to put on the hummus. Oh, that is the most delicious spice berry. It's a berry, but it's a spice. Just as a spice you sprinkle on things. It's so good. Get some sumac. It's delicious. And then I've got my really messy seed starting area that's about to get filled up again. Hopefully I'm not too late. But the hoop houses extend my season too, so into the fall, later into the fall. So I've got tomatoes down there and some kabocha squash that needs to be planted like today. There's mixed herbs. There's a ton of herbs up there. Lettuces. I've got some lettuce and some basil out in the living room. So I think we're gonna go on a walk out here. The dogs are inside, correct? I just want to make double sure. The dogs are inside. I wonder if it's warm enough out here. The dogs are inside. Okay, so here's a blueberry. That's rosemary from last year, and mint from last year. That's like lemon verbena. Oops. And some more mint. Oh, and we got a willow tree. Sorry, I'm getting used to doing this. Willow tree is going to be put over where my wood chipper is at, which is right here, because this lady put in a horrific 6-foot chain link fence, and it's so ugly. The neighbor next door actually came over crying because she's like, it looks like I'm in a prison out my window, my kitchen window. She said, I look outside of it and 1 foot from her window is a fucking fence. So they lowered it by a foot on that side for her. But then this is going to be my mushroom area. I'm just going to plant so many mushrooms. There's going to be mushrooms coming out of the holes in some of those, mushrooms on the ground. I just got done I mixed compost, green waste compost, peat moss, and sand, local sand from here that was dug out of the front yard. I sifted all that together, and then I put it on the lawn, because when I reseeded it, I did not do that step, and it needed it. but it was like slow release seed that was coated, had a blue coating on it, and the blue coating has just worn off, and it's not taking, it wasn't taking really in the spots I wanted it to take. So I put more soil on it. Can I get out or what? I'm like screwed in here. What the fuck? I'm screwed in here. Oh. Ah. There's like redundancies upon redundancies because of the dogs. And the screw decided it didn't want to come out. It's been a while since I've gone out here actually. My mojo kind of got messed up a little bit, you can say. So, oh. Screw this up tighter. Right. I can go out here with some samples. They just fine. Oh my god. I got some major muscle tone this winter from building this garden. I worked too hard. Caused myself a lot of pain, but it's a medicinal garden, so it'll be worth it. Worth it. My hat doesn't fly away actually. That's what that string is for. Maybe I should put it back. Maybe I should put my string back so my hat doesn't fly off. Found the best pair of jeans at Marshall's. Banana Republic Petite. I think I'm gonna order like 2 regular dark blue and 2 black. Something. Don't think I will find my size. Again, there was only 1 pair. They fit. They're not too long. Somebody's 5 feet tall. Putting bacon down to like barely any nicotine. And I quit eating wheat. So my days as all around very good cook, or now I'm a super crunchy only. Okay, I've got socks and sandals on so I can't get too muddy here. I live in the Pacific Northwest. We wear socks and sandals. Yeah, this is gonna get too wet. Birds are out here doing something. What kind of bird is that? Yeah, so YouTube, you can't talk about anything anymore. You have to talk in code. fairy tales. You can see Mount Rainier. Let's see. Where is it? Where's the end of that point? It just kind of blends in. Oh, the end of that point right there. I don't know if you can see it. Mount Rainier. Oh yeah, you can see it. You can see it out there. Try to hold still. I can see that from my window. So if it blows, I have a prime location. Making lots of noises today. Some vitamin D, man. I got a new lounge chair so I can sit in the lounge chair and soak up the rays. So I've been doing that a little bit, but I'm so busy I haven't had time to lounge. Let's walk to the trail. Busy doing this gardening stuff, man. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you I had elderberry. They don't seem to be doing as well as I want them to, but I don't know what they're supposed to do. I might have planted them too early and shocked them. It might have been too cold still, or I'm not sure because I didn't put them under the fleece. I didn't have the fleece at the time. I'm gonna climb up the freaking hill here and get out of this mud because I'm gonna regret this. Let's see if I can not fall. Walk this way. Yeah, rockfin. There's rockfin. There's rumble I hear. The reason I like YouTube is because I can lock my phone and listen to something because I have to pay for premium so I can do that because I don't sit in front of my computer usually and watch these podcasts. I'm usually listening to them. Gardening ones often I have to sit and watch, so I spend all my sit and watch time watching videos like that I have to watch. Yeah, so here's the other trail we've arrived at. Yeah, you can see the Olympics are really good right now. Let's see if I can get myself out of the way. So let's see. Trying to get like the least amount of sky, more ocean. Yeah. I don't know. I think that the soil problem is probably our number one problem is the farming issue. We lose 3 times the amount of soil we can replace for every stalk of corn, or that we are replacing, I'll put it that way. Slash and burn is terrible. They create these psyops and distract you with things like GMOs. That's a distraction. That's a solvable problem. Just don't plant them. You know, if it became an issue, a national emergency, they could just stop planting them. The fact that synthetic fertilizers, tilling, And chlorinated water kills the soil microbes that are what breaks down the nutrients and feeds them into the plant, which is then what you eat. The fact that we're killing all of those is causing the nutrient loss. And it's not a small nutrient loss, it's 90%. They compared a tomato from a homegrown person, and I don't know if this person is using synthetic fertilizers or what, or not. Probably no, it was an organic, but I don't know if he knows about the no-till soil microbe thing, because when you till, you disturb the mycorrhiza and the other soil microbes. Living Web Farms channel is fantastic for information on this, and regenerative agriculture, and cattle are a part of it. And biochar, that's another thing that we can do to solve the problem, the Amazon black soil, using biochar. But it's hard to do on an industrial scale. It's pretty impossible. People are working on it. One guy's got a setup going he's producing quite a bit. That's the stuff that we should be talking about. Like the NASA never went to the moon thing. I think they themselves put that psyop out there, and flat earth, to keep you distracted from why we actually went to the moon and what we found there. But no, we've got the conspiracy theorists that are going to talk about we never went. For how many years has it been now since we went to the moon? And I'm not saying we went in that tin can. I think we took Die Glocke, Nazi Flying Bell. That's what we took to the moon. And then Stanley Kubrick made a movie. And then they didn't share with us what they found. Well, they didn't put it on the mainstream media that the catastrophists were right. That there is pristine melt glass from a solar micronova that they found on the moon. And what that means. They buried catastrophism. They classified the Adam and Eve story by Chan Thomas, a book, which they recently declassified parts of it. Another guy wrote a book, I think before the Chan Thomas. He says that whoever that is, ripped off from his book. His name is Doug Vogt, V-O-G-T, I believe. His channel is Diehold Foundation, D-I-E-H-O-L-D Foundation. He's a physicist. He explains how the solar micronova happens, and it seems like at the same time the Earth's magnetic poles reverse, possibly causing the Earth to stand still. There's old stories of this happening, or the sun standing still or rising from the wrong direction. And there's all kinds of stories about that from ancient times. There's also evidence that a flood did wash over the West Coast. The Great Salt Lake, they don't have a saltwater source for it. It's drying up. Same with a lot of the other salt lakes and stuff on the West Coast. If you look up salt lakes and try to figure out their sources, we don't know the source, and they're drying up. But there is a source, whatever. Then there's all the seashells and everything else they found, but they're like, oh no, it was the ground used to be underwater here. Maybe in some cases. But from what we've seen, like Pumapunku was buried in meters of uniform mud. It was all uniform. If you look up the location of Pumapunku, it's not on the coast, but it's on the west side. Anyway, so if the Earth stands still, the water in the air that keeps moving and washes over the land. And if a solar micronova hits the Earth and melts the ice caps, then a lot of water is going to go into the atmosphere. When all that water goes into the atmosphere, it's going to cool the planet. And when it cools the planet, it's going to freeze. These birds that are chattering. And and it's gonna snow. And it's gonna rain first, probably, and then it's gonna freeze once it reaches a certain point, and then probably insta-freeze like those mammoths that we all know about, the flowers, undigested flowers still in their gut. And Russia tried to simulate that. They tried to freeze a chunk of meat that size as fast as they could. They could not simulate it in a lab. Little chilly breeze. It's warm out here, but the breeze, I'm awake though. Everybody else will be fine. I had a vest on earlier. If I had my vest, it'd be perfect. I'm gonna go hide in the woods. I'm ready for bikini season. I'm ready. Got my bikinis. They were part of their thing right in the yard. Walk around my bikini. So I think the powers that be are well aware of this soil problem. That's why Bill Gates bought all the farmland. That should be concerning, considering his buddy Jeffrey Epstein had a breeding ranch to repopulate the earth with his seed. But nobody's asking what was the rest of the diabolical plan, and why does the earth need to be repopulated? You know, why does the earth need to be repopulated? I thought we needed to depopulate the earth, according to them. So there must be a plan there. What was it? Dude had a lab, by the way, and they post these genomes of all this stuff they find in caves online. So anybody with a lab can essentially program it and make themselves a sample. I don't think you need a wild sample anymore. That's what I heard on virologist live stream. Not like it'd be hard to get a wild sample now. You could just wipe the door handle somewhere. Get yourself a good old bioweapon. I think Trump started World War III. I think he earned the title Israel's greatest president for starting a war, not for moving an embassy. They were up to something for definitely. We need to figure out what and who was involved. And Dershowitz, representing the President of the United States in his impeachment trial, right after Jeffrey Epstein escaped jail, either as a spirit or as a live person, or he was never there. There's no footage. That was a signal that Dershowitz represented Trump in this impeachment trial, because Dershowitz is the named raper in the case, and he's representing the president. Oh, okay. I got a phone call. I just got a text. That was a total signal to the club. That's totally obvious. You always say, they always talk to each other through their media and send signals, and you pick apart the signs in the background of the pictures and the books on the table and everything like that. But Dershowitz representing Trump in his impeachment trial didn't ring a bell for anybody? You decoders and stuff? Come on, guys. Go visit Ghislaine. I bet you she's not in jail. A different person every visit day. Inmates love visitors. They get to get out of their cell. It's something new and different. They hate being locked in their cell all day. I should go. I'm gonna just walk around my trails. I should go on the trail over here. Go visit her. Prove to me she's there. There's no footage. They didn't allow photographers in either of their courtrooms. But they're allowing photographers in every other courtroom that they want to politicize. All these other courtrooms. And yet it's just no footage, no nothing, nada from the Jeffrey Epstein saga. We get nothing. I would go visit her. Anybody could get on the visit list. But I am on the wrong coast. So, but yeah, I don't get why there's not journalists, at least, like New York Times people or other people getting on the visit list and visiting these people. Why not, if they're actually in jail? Why should we believe any of these politicians and their ilk? Cops too, the cops that are supposed to be getting in trouble, how do we know that they're in jail? Like Derek Chauvin, if they actually convict him, I wonder if people will then go visit him in jail and see if he's there. You know, they could just say he's there and have him not. If I remember correctly, Jeffrey Epstein, it came out while he was in jail, supposedly, that he wasn't actually signing in weekly. He was supposed to go sleep one night a week in jail or something. And they were forging those signatures. He wasn't actually even going. Okay, because this is breaking down. This is a muddy pit. I covered it with stuff. It's breaking down. Becoming a path. Still not dog friendly. There's too many pokey sticks and things. I want to make this a dog walking trail eventually. That would be nice. Dog walking trails, like the dog walk